The whole point, a lot of people haven't made this connection. The whole point of immigration restriction, at the very least of stopping illegal immigration, that's kind of where Trump is. Doesn't necessarily want to restrict legal immigration, does want to stop illegal immigration. That's where a lot of the country is. Many people on the right, myself included, want to go further and think that we need to restrict all immigration, dramatically restrict all immigration. But the whole point of that, the left doesn't get. The left thinks it's about you don't like brown people, or you don't like Mexicans, or you don't like the Spanish language, or you don't like tacos, or you have an irrational animus toward foreigners, you're a xenophobe. That's not what it's about. What it's about is something that the left pretends to advocate and pretends to understand but doesn't, which is social solidarity. If you flood a country with foreigners, people who speak a different language, who have different customs, different habits, a different understanding of government, if you do that, you're going to lose your country. And it's going to be unfair to people on a whole host of levels. It's going to be unfair to the working class. It's going to lower their wages. It's going to be unfair to ordinary people trying to live in their neighborhoods when you import a bunch of crime because the gangs control the border. It's just not right. And it frays social solidarity. So this is how the San Francisco Chronicle is reporting on the latest Trump immigration moves. The Trump administration asks SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, to allow profiling in immigration raids. Profiling. What kind of profiling? Opens up. The Trump administration is asking the court to allow officers to arrest suspected illegal immigrants in Southern California because of how they look, what language they're speaking, and what kind of work they're doing. Factors that federal judges have found to be baseless and discriminatory. Can you imagine that racist Trump, Tom Homan, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, they're going to go out and arrest illegal aliens based on how they look and how they sound and what they're doing. And you're not allowed to do that, apparently. Go to goodranchers.com/Knowles. As a father, I thought I was making smart choices at the grocery store until I discovered that over 4 billion pounds of meat were imported into the U.S. last year, and it can still be labeled as though it's from here. That'll get you questioning everything. What am I feeding my family? If labels can say product of the USA when the meat's not even raised here, what other labels are misleading me? And then you find Good Ranchers. All their meat is 100% American, sourced from local farms and ranches, delivered straight to your door. To me, though, the biggest thing is just the quality, just the taste. The quality is fabulous. You are not going to get better quality anywhere. The prices are insanely low. It's just incredible. I've been a Good Rancher subscriber for years and years now. I absolutely love it. You can get $25 off every box with free shipping. And now, if you use my code, goodranchers.com, code Knowles, you'll get $40 off, plus free meat for life when you start a subscription. Highly recommend, by the way, the New York strip and the Wagyu burgers. Those are the two. Everything's great, but those are the two tops. That is code Knowles, Knowles, plus you will get $40 off. And on top of that, free meat for life, goodranchers.com. Welcome to the table. So then let me ask you a quick follow-up question to the San Francisco Chronicle. On what basis are we supposed to arrest them? If you're not allowed to consider how they look, or how they sound, or what they're doing, on what basis do we arrest the illegal aliens? Based on how they smell? Based on what senses are left? Based on how they smell? Based on how they feel? Do we have to feel the texture of their skin, of their hair? Is that on what basis, if we are not allowed to consider how they look, sound, and what they're doing, on what basis do you arrest illegal aliens? Well, no, you need to just know that they're illegal aliens. Because that's what the left is saying. Well, how do you distinguish between the legal Hispanics and the illegal ones? First of all, you can, because they do look a little different and they do sound a little different and they're doing different things. They might have the same skin color or whatever, but there's more to it than that. But what are we just supposed to? Well, you have to know. You have to have a. I don't know. I don't even know what their argument is. If you're not allowed to Profile, that's just it's one of the P words. Profile, prejudice. They're words that are used as scare words that when you really think about what they mean, there's really nothing wrong with them at all. But prejudice can be bigoted if it's irrational. But we all make prejudgments. You wouldn't get out of bed in the morning if you didn't operate based on prejudgments. Profiling. What do you think a cop does? What do you think the job of a cop is? The cop's job is to profile, to distinguish between criminals and non-criminals, and then to pursue the criminals. That's the whole job. Maybe the article will tell us something, will it? Goes on. Last month's ruling by U.S. District Judge Mame Frimpong, upheld by the Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, quote, threatens to upend immigration officials' ability to enforce the immigration laws in the Central District of Columbia, according to the DOJ's Solicitor General. This court should end this attempted judicial usurpation of immigration enforcement functions. And then furthermore, just to allay any fears that anyone might have, quote, no one thinks that speaking Spanish or working in construction always creates reasonable suspicion that someone's an illegal alien. But in many situations, such factors, alone or in combination, can heighten the likelihood that someone is unlawfully present in the United States. Of course. Of course. If someone doesn't speak a word of English, it doesn't look like he knows where he's going or what he's doing, or it looks like it's his first time in America, and he's working in a job that illegal aliens can get, that he's not working as the CFO of JP Morgan. He's not working in a job that requires you to show your papers. He's doing all those things. And he's a young fighting age man, which is what most of the illegal aliens are, because they're economic migrants, not actual refugees. If all of those things check out, mightn't it be reasonable in a country that has effectively had open borders, sometimes explicitly had open borders, in recent years because of Democrat administrations, with conservatively 11 to 16 million illegal aliens in the country? Don't you think it might be reasonable to ask Jose if perhaps he's not here legally? And if not, this is I'm being totally straight here. This is to the libs and the squishes who are watching. What's the alternative to take on illegal immigration? And the answer is, you don't. The alternative is stop enforcing the immigration laws. Stop enforcing the immigration laws or we're going to call you a racist. That's it. And the Trump administration says, yeah, that's not going to work anymore. That was a great clip. Now stop and ring the bell and subscribe, and then I'll see you again soon. Subscribe. Did you hear that? Subscribe. See you next time.